But I have to keep reiterating the fact, we have to keep telling ourselves that those things that we want out of this life already are. Because when we keep them at a distance from ourselves, it's only going to remain at that distance, even though we're moving closer, you know what I mean? It's keeping that yardstick between us and the thing that we want. Whereas we take that yardstick away and we say that thing is mine right now at this moment, it's going to remain where it is. And you're going to allow yourself to catch up to it versus continuing to move like this towards the thing that you want. Or this, I don't know which way, whatever. Hi, welcome back. I haven't filmed in this setup recently, and I'm in the midst of hard resetting a lot of my habits. Oh my gosh, I'm not used to filming this early. It is currently 7:29 in the AM, obviously, by my window. I resoiled the snake plant that was here, so that's why it's a little empty. But she's doing her thing outside. I'm gonna bring her back in later. First of all, it's been a second since we've been in this environment. I don't know, I was getting a little in my head. I was holding myself back from fully stepping into who it is that I want to be and what it is that I'm calling in for myself. I have been a repeat offender of waking up much later in the day than I want to. Given there were some days where I'd wake up at 9, but then there were definitely days where I was waking up at 11, maybe 12, and I just don't want to be that person anymore. As much as I'm a sleepy girl, and I will integrate naps now that I'm waking up early, but as much as I'm a sleepy girl, I can't allow my comfort to hold me back from who it is that I'm becoming and who it is that I want to be in this present moment. And I'm working on curating my alter ego identity. That's for a video in the future. But my alter ego, she wakes up early. She wakes up at 6 a.m., maybe even 5 a.m. sometimes. And today, I initially woke up at 6, and then I have a sign on my clock now. I'll take a picture of it and post it here. That says, "Wake up, don't hit snooze," in capital letters. And that really helps deter me from hitting the snooze and like hopping into bed. But I woke up at 6. I used the bathroom. Did I use the bathroom right away? I woke up at 6. I think I scrolled on my phone for a little bit because I know that I'm still building the habit, so I can't expect myself to be waking up super early and then jumping right into the things that I want to jump into. So I focus. So I did a little scroll, and then I saw Lior Alexandria had morning affirmations. So I played the morning affirmations. I closed my eyes and I stayed as present as I could for it. I think I fell asleep a little bit, I'm gonna be honest. But then I think once I almost hit a sleep, Finn woke me up. So that was probably around 6:30. I went downstairs, let him out, got him some water, and then I came back upstairs. And by the time I came back upstairs, I had put an alarm on my phone for 6:40 something. So by the time I came up from my room after letting Finn out, that alarm went off. So I was still on time. And so I I think I used the bathroom. I brushed my teeth. That's what I did. I brushed my teeth. I laid back in bed and then I wrote my morning pages. So at least I'm gently encouraging myself, gently forcing myself to stay true to this early rise schedule, because for the last, what was it? The last 7 months of this year, last 8 months, no, 7 months. 7 months of this year, I was waking up early. I was waking up at 6 something, doing my morning pages, getting ready for work, going to work, and then working, and then, figuring out how to create that schedule of my own on top of working. And now that I'm working for myself and doing freelance work and just doing creative work, why can't I do that same thing for myself? Why is it so hard for us to do the same kind of uncomfortable things, but when the stakes are laid in serving ourselves, why is that so difficult? And then it reminded me of a conversation that I had with my nephew on Monday, where he didn't want to go to MMA because he doesn't like doing wearing his gi. And I told him, in order to grow, in order to get better, you have to do things that are uncomfortable, because that's the only way you can grow. And so this morning, or as I've been having this battle with myself of having the alarms go off at 6 a.m., hitting snooze and continuing to sleep, and then waking up a lot later than I thought I was going to wake up, and then getting upset because I've already lost a lot of my day, but then knowing that, I rested for this reason. I must have needed it. My body must have needed it. And yes, while that may be true, we also have to gently push ourselves against what our comfort zone is. Sleep for me is my comfort zone. I am a sleepy girl. I love to be comfy, cozy in my bed. I don't know if I've never shown my bed before, but I have a comforter. I have a weighted blanket underneath. I have an ungodly amount of pillows. I have 6. Okay, so I have 2 king size pillows. I have 2 memory foam pillows that have my satin, silky pillowcases on it. I have 2 whatever pillows that have the decorative pillowcase that came with my comforter. I have 2 decorative pillows, 2 small decorative pillows that came with the comforter set. I have a pillow that I've had since I was a little girl, covered in a regular pillowcase, because it's purple, like it's a fuzzy purple pillow, and it just, as much as I would want to let that fuzzy purple pillow shine, she just doesn't go with the aesthetic color palette of my bed. So I put a regular pillowcase on it, but I know it's her. And then I have a pillow that has Finn's face, or a picture of Finn's full body and his head, not just the body, on it, that was gifted to my sister for Christmas. And he has the matching blanket in his bed. And then I have a stuffed bear that I've also had since I was a little girl. When I say little girl, I was probably younger than 12, maybe. The bear is definitely a lot older than that, because I got that on a trip to the Philippines when I was in grade school from my dad. And that pillow is also from my dad's house when he used to live out here. My biological dad, who lives in the Philippines now. And then I have a stuffed pua. And you know what? I never purchased another stuffed animal. I just bought pua, and then never bought another animal. I did want, I did want the pua that was weighted. I think they made one of him. I can't remember. I don't work there anymore. But anyways, I have a comfy bed. That was the point of that explanation of the contents of my bed. I also have, on top of my 2 blankets, my weighted blanket and my comforter, I have like a fuzzy blanket that sometimes I use, sometimes I don't use, or sometimes that's the only thing I use. But usually I use my weighted blanket because I'm a stomach sleeper, but I'm trying to not be a stomach sleeper. So the weighted blanket mimics the pressure that I get from sleeping on my stomach. But anyways, discomfort. We can only grow, don't mind me, I'm fidgeting. We can only grow through moments of discomfort. We gotta, like, there's no other way to get stronger or to create new neural pathways. Like, in order to pave a new pathway, you have to put in a little bit of effort. You have to go against the grain. You're carving something new into yourself, into your being. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be just wake up and it's done. We have to put in that initial effort until it becomes a habit, until it becomes something that we're constantly turning to. I remember when I first started working out every single day, taking my walks every single day, I had to push myself to get that done. Yes, I always knew that after I would finish, I would be super, super glad that I did and feel super accomplished. But I have to admit that in those initial stages, it took a little bit of effort for me to convince myself to go out and do it. Eventually I got it done, but then the more I kept doing it and the more I started creating that, that response in my brain that was like, oh, if you work out, you're gonna feel really good. And then when you feel really good, you're gonna, show up in life really good. And then over time, the compound interest of that, your body ends up looking good because you're actively working out. Your legs get more toned, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is that you want for yourself. We have to create these habits that get us to where it is we want to be. We're not just going to manifest it in our journals. And I use that example because that's kind of what I've been doing, where I'm like, okay, I'm calling this in. I'm telling the universe this is what I want. Why hasn't it shown up? Well, I haven't necessarily been taking all of the steps, doing all of the actions that are showing the universe that I am ready, that I'm willing, that I'm worthy of receiving all of the things that I want to receive. I've known for a very long time that waking up early and getting out of bed and starting my day early is going to help me get to where it is I want to be. It's going to help me tackle the things on my to-do list early enough so that I have time later to work on my long to-do list. As we know, I love creating a scroll. Discomfort. That's the topic. Discomfort. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to be uncomfortable for a little bit. But that doesn't mean that we're necessarily doing something wrong. That doesn't mean that we are necessarily wrong because why am I not comfortable with this yet? Why isn't this so easy for me to do? We're all beginners, especially when you're learning how to do things to make your childhood self proud, especially when you're doing things to fill your own cup. If you have been a people pleaser, if you have been someone who finds it so much easier to do the work to serve someone else, it's so much harder to do that work for ourselves. Take it from me, from someone who has been doing the work for herself for quite a bit now and still finds it so uncomfortable to do the things that I was so easily doing for a job I was clocking into. And now that I'm the boss and that I'm clocking in to myself, for myself, it's so much more difficult. And that's okay that it's difficult. I can't expect myself to just and be there. As much as there's a lot of magic that exists in the world, that kind of magic happens over a period of time. And then eventually we're going to get to a place where it's like, oh, we're here now. We're doing this thing on the regular. This is just what life is now. And so I encourage you to, if you have to put it in terms of an alter ego and then stepping into that character of the alter ego, then do it that way. But as much as you can, take that incremental step forward. Take that one action and then build upon that. Don't force yourself to have this laundry list of characteristics and traits and habits that you need to have in order to begin. You have to start somewhere. And I'm telling this to myself because waking up at 6 a.m. initially, I was like, I want to sleep. And then I saw the sign and I was like, but you can't sleep. And so I did the affirmations. And then once I started falling asleep, Finn woke me up just coincidentally. And then I brushed my teeth to not have that like film of wanting, like, because I'm in my sleep state, like unbrushed teeth, undone skincare, XYZ, you know what I mean? I'd be like, I'm already like in the state of still being in my sleep zone, so I can freely go back to sleep. But if I brush my teeth, then I'm gonna know, because your mouth sensor is so prominent, I'm not gonna feel so compelled to go back to sleep. And that really worked out because I did my morning pages, and then once I'm a page and a half into my morning pages, I'm like, I'm awake now. And so I continued to stay awake. I continued to stay awake. And then I did my skincare. And then as I was doing my skincare, I looked at my camera setup and I was just like, you know what? I was gonna postpone filming until later in the day where I felt more awake and I was more presentable and I had more energy. But if I showed up right now, then that's just proving to myself, it's holding myself accountable, not just with myself, but with the public, that I'm doing this, that I'm taking these actions as unready as I feel, as sleepy as I may be deep down. I know that working my energy, getting the cogs moving, finding the momentum, what is it? An object in motion stays in motion. Just doing one thing over or after another. Please, it's so early. I'm gonna be so thankful at the end of the day where I've accomplished so much and I go, yeah, it's because I woke up at 6 a.m. because I was able to knock out my morning routine early, because I was able to get to editing, filming, doing this, doing that early. It all starts from somewhere. And we have to give ourselves the opportunity to show up and be successful. We can't continue to feed ourselves this narrative of, oh, but that's not who I am. Oh, that I always wake up so late. That's just like, I have to beat that. But if we claim, I'm a girly pop that wakes up at 6 a.m. I'm a girly pop that gets all her stuff done by 8 or 9 p.m. a.m. And then I'm a girly pop who does this, and I'm a girly pop, or if you're not a girly pop, if you're just a pop, or if you're just you know what I mean. Integrate your own title there. We have to tell ourselves who it is that we are, even though we are not exactly fully that person yet. We have to claim it now, because if you keep telling yourself that you are a past version of yourself, you're going to remain that way. Our brain, our minds, our spirit doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. It just knows what is. And so once we claim who it is we are, what it is we are, what it is we do now in the present moment, It's only going to happen now. Does that make sense? By claiming who it is that you want to be, that you want to do, that you want to achieve, if you claim it now in this present moment, that only makes, even though it may not be a straight and narrow path in the reality of things, it creates that pathway to you to integrate into who it is that you are in this present moment, versus continuing to say, I'm going to be that person, I'm gonna do this, I'm going to do that. If we keep saying that that's something that we're going to be, achieve, or create a habit of in the future, it's gonna remain in the future. We have to tell those things, I'm this now, I'm doing this now, I'm achieving this now. It only makes it come to us that much faster. It only makes it more real for ourselves because we already know that it exists. I think we've talked about this already. Once we claim those things in this present moment, I feel like I've said this so many times in this last couple of minutes, but I have to keep reiterating the fact, we have to keep telling ourselves that those things that we want out of this life already are. Because when we keep them at a distance from ourselves, it's only going to remain at that distance, even though we're moving closer, you know what I mean? It's keeping that yardstick between us and the thing that we want. Whereas we take that yardstick away and we say that thing is mine right now at this moment, it's going to remain where it is. And you're going to allow yourself to catch up to it versus continuing to move like this towards the thing that you want. Or this, I don't know which way, whatever. This is my accountability. And I fell off. I'll be honest, I fell off from filming regularly, posting daily, and last week, I'll give it to myself, it was a full moon, it was a full super moon, it was a partial eclipse, the full moon was also in Pisces. What else happened last week? I forgot what else happened. I was on my period. On top of it, I literally got it the morning of the full moon, so I was just in my red moon phase. And especially for the kind of moon that it was and the energies of that moon, it was just very intense of an internal transition period for me. And then a couple days later, and then a couple days ago from today, it was the autumn equinox. So we've officially transitioned into fall. It's harvest season, y'all. That was a harvest moon, guys. And I've had these reminders that I need to get back into things. I need to pick up the pace. I need to find my momentum again. And especially as women, we have to give ourselves grace because our cycles, our energetic cycles or something, we have a 28-day cycle because of our menstrual cycle. So we have to give ourselves that grace to go through that entire cycle in order to renew again. And so now that I'm officially, I think this is day 2, officially no menstruating, I am back and ready to tackle things in the way that I want to tackle them for these next 20 something days until my next cycle where I have to take a step back again. I need to put my foot back on the pedal. I can't be, my auto drive is going to come and get me, because my car doesn't have auto drive. So if I were to do that, I would simply crash. So we're changing it up. And this is the season for that. This is the time of year where we really have to kick it into gear and show ourselves, show God, show the universe what it is that we're made of. Because if not now, then when? As simple as that. If not now, then when? So with that, about to be 8 o'clock in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go. I love you. Be kind to yourself today. Do something today, although it makes you uncomfortable. Do something today that you know your future self or your near future self, it might be in a couple hours, future self, will be so thankful that you did. Discomfort will only lead to more growth. We can't grow in a comfortable space. Yes, there are some exclusions to that. I know for myself. Where's the paper? So I have Jupiter in the second house. I've been doing my astrology studies lately and taking notes. I have Jupiter in the second house, and that I have to be comfortable with what it is that I do. But it doesn't mean like, okay, I can only do things when I'm completely comfortable. But I have to do things comfortable with the discomfort. Or, in the terms of aesthetic, I have to create comfort in my space. I'm still in my sleep clothes. I just have a robe on. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run out of battery. Okay. But anyways, do something, although it's uncomfortable, it's gonna benefit your future self. You know it. I love you. Drink some water, take a walk, get some sun when it comes out from these clouds. And I will see you very soon. I love you. My morning voice, is it cute? Is it sexy? I don't know. I kind of like my morning voice, but now we get to hear it in HD quality. Okay, I gotta go. What is happening to my voice? Oh my gosh. Okay, ta-ta. Love you.